Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
This is the Eiffel Tower. Lena and I are having a good laugh because as the parents of two small children, we have to slap each other in the face
To wake up.
to have the right energy. And, we did 4 slaps each. I think there was some... we probably need to have a therapist expert on the next episode.
We should probably record his intro, but we won't.
No, we won't. But this, we're also excited because historically, the bucket list episode is the most downloaded episode of the year.
And it's the first one of the year, which is not even true.
Slap myself.
Slap.
What's the bucket list? This goes back to when Notre Dame burned down, and I realized I hadn't been to the top of Notre Dame ever because it would always be there. And then I messaged a bunch of my friends. I said, hey, let's all write down 5 things we want to do in Paris this year, you know, just in case they burn down tomorrow. And I mentioned on the show, people seemed to like the idea, and then the next 5 years we did it on the show. And I think people are into the idea.
I think it's a great idea.
I enjoy it. And,
yeah, me too.
And it means that we get to go out and see the city. So in this episode, you're going to hear me and Lena sharing our 5 things that we want to do in 2025, as well as a look back at 2024. And finally, a word from this show's sponsors, My Private Paris. We'll talk about a library that you should add to your bucket list. So we'll hear from them at the end. But before we get into 2024 to start, a bit of music from Pressmax. So let's just rapidly go through 2024. Mine or yours first?
Husbands first.
Okay, visit the Château de Vincennes. And a reminder for everyone at home, this is stuff we haven't done. We've been in Paris for 10 years now, and it's tricky to find, you know, it's not the Eiffel Tower anymore.
Yeah, you have to dig a little bit deeper.
Exactly. I had Château de Vincennes, which we did immediately in January.
Yeah, very good. Did you like it?
Yeah. I think it's worth a day trip once, but not on your first or your second trip to Paris.
I felt like it was, it was nice, but it was not, you can't really do much there.
Dine at Bonnie Rooftop Restaurant. That was really nice.
We did that.
I heard people say, the food's not very good and it's expensive.
I know, blah, blah,
Get
blah.
over yourself. You're like 30 floors above the Marais, basically.
Yes, and you can see all of Paris.
Just for the view.
Pretty spectacular.
It was one of the best nights out we had. I thought it was
And
incredible.
it was kind of groovy.
It was
It had a groovy vibe.
Yeah. And it was expensive, but what do you expect? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
You know, I would recommend it.
It's Paris.
Number 3, classical music at the St. Paul Church. Failed on that again. Take a French cooking class. Well, not only did I do that, but I ended up teaming up with Cooking with Class, and I loved it.
Yeah.
So, tick. And then soar on the Paris balloon. Lofty, ambitious. Didn't do it. 3 out of 5. Too far away for us.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
Didn't feel worth dedicating an afternoon of my life to.
To try. I mean, to be fair, we have tried to do that before and failed because it was too windy or something.
So I got 3 out of 5, which is...
Not too bad.
Let's hear yours. Drinks at Bar Nouveau.
Yeah, we did that pretty quickly.
We've been twice even, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's a winner.
It's nice. I like it.
Art Nouveau themed bar.
Bar Nouveau.
See the Grand Palais Immersif.
That's the Grand Palais, which is right by Bastille, or the Opera Bastille. And did that early on in the year. I feel like we had a few busy months in the very, very beginning of the year.
It's because we were racing.
Yeah. It was all right. I mean, it's like it's nothing like the real Grand Palais, which is like an architectural wonder. This is more like
an architectural.
garage.
I wonder why they made that.
No, it's all right. It's nice. It depends what sort of exhibition is on, I think.
Cocktails at Plaza Athénée.
Didn't do that.
No.
I've never been inside, which is so weird. I know. Very weird.
I did an interview in there once.
Yeah, well, la-dee-da.
We'll get back there. Number 4, see the Jardin d'Acclimatation.
Well, technically, I did that, but in the winter, and my idea was to go there with the family in the summer and do the rides and see the animals. Like, it's not at all the same thing in the winter, unless it's like Christmas time, and I didn't even do that.
From a competitive standpoint, I'd say you didn't get it, or half.
From a competitive, I'd take it.
And lastly, snag a table at Septime, the famous restaurant.
Yeah, that proved to be too tricky. I tried.
So this is I don't know if it's Michelin or not. It's a restaurant a lot of people talk about.
I know. It's very famous. A lot of people want to snag a table, as it were. I failed.
What's the deal? You said something about it's easy to get a table for 3 or 5.
Yeah, you can book, and you cannot book like too far ahead or something. Or they release, I can't remember exactly how it works now, but they release tables of bookings at a specific point every day or every week or something. And yeah, it was easier to get for 3 or 4 people rather than 2 people.
Okay.
So, and I just wanted to go with you.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
now we'll never go because that was a
know.
2024 thing. But all the things, that's 3 each, we tied. All the things we talk about there are in the 2025 PDF Guide to Paris, which I've just seen the final draft of. It'll probably come out any second now, free for Patreon and Substack members, €20 for the rest of you. Let's get on with this year's list. Shall we go 1 for 1 or me then you or you then me?
1 and 1, as
Okay.
in you do your full list.
Okay, I've got so I put this out to Patreon members and I sought inspiration, and there were some really good ones.
Cheetah.
I stole but one.
Okay.
Carol.
Carol?
She put that she wants to swim in the Seine. And
Really?
I love
Carol?
it. I love it.
Okay.
I'm going to do it.
That's on yours.
Isn't that a lyric in La La Land? She swam in
yes,
the Seine, or she
yeah.
fell in the Seine, or
Emma
something?
Stone sings that, I think. About her cool auntie.
Well, I want to do it. I want to feel the Seine's power. And I think that they're opening swimming down by Pont de Sully. I'll be the first in the water.
Perfect.
Even I don't care about all that bacteria. I don't care. Going in.
Yeah.
I'll jump off the bridge.
Wow.
You know what I'd love to do? Train with the pompiers. Do a story with the firefighters.
wow.
And be like,
I
I'll
bet
jump
you
off the
could.
bridge. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So that's my first one.
Okay,
Swim
cool.
in the
I
Seine.
love it. Great.
What's yours?
No, go on.
Okay. Number 2, I carried this one over from last year because it's very important to me to do it. See a live classical music show at the St. Paul
It should
Church.
be so easy to do because we live not very far.
We live like 13 minutes
Yeah.
walk away, I think. And it's on every Saturday night.
I know.
And that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
And on
it's too easy.
On my Monday morning walking tour of the Marais, I take people through that church and I say at the end, there's people that are listening now going, yep, he said that to us as well. I say, the classical music here is meant to be great. I haven't seen it and I want to.
And now you want to say it's great
Yeah, exactly.
because I've seen
I know that they do Vivaldi and Pachelbel's Canon, all the hits.
all the hits.
So I want to do it. And it's something like €10.
Yeah.
Number 3,
okay.
can't believe I haven't done this before. The restaurant Paul Bert,
Yeah. In is it the 20th? 12th.
12th or 11th.
Ah.
Somewhere right between
Yeah.
them. There's I was at a dinner party fairly recently with a lot of sort of the old guard of Paris influences. Do you know what
Is
I mean
that a
by
positive or negative thing?
that? I don't know.
Is that an insult?
I
or
think that's a
compliment?
table a lot of people would have loved to have been at.
Uh-huh.
But it's not like the TikTokers, but
I
more
see.
like the people who've been doing it for a
Yeah,
while.
yeah, yeah.
And
The giants.
yeah, sort
The
of.
giants.
Yeah. The people who are the old school ones, right? And someone mentioned Paul Bert, and they go, oh, it's so hard to get a reservation. And I said, what restaurant are you talking about? And they all go, ha ha, good joke, Oliver.
And you're like,
I go, ha ha, wasn't it? But the
Yeah.
truth is, I hadn't heard of it until a
did
year
you write
ago.
it down phonetically?
No, I forgot about it until I heard someone else talk about it. I was like, that's the one. And the truth is, I never claimed to have my finger on the pulse of the greatest restaurants or the best ones or whatever. But that is an institution, and a lot of people talk about it. And
Truly.
I can't believe I haven't been there. So.
Yeah, also close to us, so should be
Seeing a
easy.
theme. Which brings me to the next one, which I think a lot of people haven't done yet,
Okay.
who are listening, around Paris anyway. It's called the Tac Tac Bar.
Oh,
Have you heard of it?
no.
TAC. And it's another rooftop bar in the 13th near the Périphérique.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it must be those big towers, like the residential looking towers, if you follow the river as far as you can to the east.
Uh-huh. By that big library?
Yeah, down around there. Maybe it's in one of the library buildings. I don't know exactly where it is.
François Mitterrand.
Mitterrand? Yeah, maybe. I don't know exactly which one it is. But I was just looking around for things to do in Paris, and that caught my eye.
And what's so good about it?
Huge.
Oh, okay.
Unrivaled bar views. Better than Bonnie.
Okay.
Maybe.
Wow.
I don't
so
know,
You
I-
like to put a rooftop bar on your list every year.
I think I do.
Yeah.
I love a rooftop bar.
I love
I love a
it.
rooftop bar. And then lastly, the fairly recently reopened Gainsbourg Museum. I don't mean reopen, I mean open. It's never been open before. It just took so long. Serge Gainsbourg, the singer, it took so long for them to get around to it. It's where he used to live over in the 6th, 7th-ish arrondissement.
Okay, that would be interesting. I wonder what it'll be like.
I heard it's quite tastefully done, and I heard that you can do an audio tour of it narrated by one of his daughters, I think.
Really?
Which I like the sound of. Because often the audio guides can be really lame.
Yeah.
Like super lame. And then some, like the Hôtel de...
Have you seen these like online skits about that? It's like you look at a painting and this audio guide is just describing the absolute obvious. It's like, there's a man looking at a dog and the dog is looking back at the man. And you're like, yeah, okay, great.
The good
so
ones.
hopefully this one will be a bit different.
There's Hôtel de la Marine near the Crillon Hotel had a really good one, I remember. I remember just being wow, good effort, guys. That was great.
All right, that was 5.
Decent list.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
I'll accompany some of them, I
You can
think.
come to all if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to?
Maybe.
Yes or no?
Yes.
You have to jump in the same.
No.
Let's
You
hear.
need a camera, woman.
Let's hear your 5.
On to my list. On number 1, I have the show Madame Arthur, and this is a drag show by Pigalle, up in the 18th, close to Montmartre.
I don't think we've ever been to a drag show in Paris.
No, and we used to live so close to this. It was literally around the corner, and I used to walk past it and see it, and it looked so good. And I'm curious. I want to do it.
Okay, I want to do it.
Bucket list.
I'll come.
You want to come?
Yep.
And I think it's like one of these dinner and a show kind of thing, which I love. So very excited.
Do you? I don't know if you know, but it's like dinner while the show is happening.
I think so. I hope so. Because that's what I like the idea of.
I went to a
show.
like
in Goodfellas, you kind of, all the people sit and eat and you have like this entertainment. Sounds great, right?
If it's like Goodfellas and they pull out a table out of thin air at the front for us, then I'm in.
Then we're talking.
I went to a show in Stockholm once where the actors were part of the wait staff as well.
Yeah.
If it's like that.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay.
Number 2 is a bar, and it's I think it was in the 10th arrondissement, one of those 10th, 11th, and it's called the Frequence Bar, and it's Frequence or Fréquence, I guess. Lots of vinyls, just everywhere, and they play really cool music and mix really good cocktails, and I'm curious.
I'm curious too.
Yeah, you want to come?
Yeah, for sure.
It's a date.
It's babysitting bill. It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I know. Let's bring the babies. No, let's not.
We could do a whole episode about the weird and wonderful bars of Paris.
Definitely.
There's one near Bastille that I shan't spoil, but it's got small like Jesus statues everywhere. And you'd think it's like religious until you go into the bathroom where it becomes as far from a religious experience as possible.
Naughty. Anyways, back to my list. Thank you very much. Number 3, I have Fondation Cartier, which is like a big art museum, modern art. So I'm curious about that.
Where is that?
Central.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll get back to you.
Is it like an exhibition that changes, or is it a museum?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, but it should be, if I got it right. So we'll get back to you on that one.
Cool.
Yeah, I think in my head it's like close to Fondation Louis Vuitton, which is like much further out. But yeah, I'm curious about this one. And then on number 4, I have an afternoon tea at the Plaza Athénée.
You carried over.
I know. Last year I had cocktails there, I think.
Why is it? What's the appeal? No, but seriously, what's the appeal of Plaza Athénée?
Well, it's just one of these lovely hotels that I haven't been to it. It's weird. I haven't even stepped my foot in it.
Is it like Sex and the City related? Because I know.
No.
You know, that's where she is.
Yeah, you said that last year.
You know what's something about this podcast? There are some people who pick and choose episodes, so they might listen to last year's and then this one.
Yeah, maybe.
And they'll be like, they just have the same points of reference and the same joke.
Useless.
But we haven't thought about that for a year. But did I tell you I did an interview in there once? You know, it's a Dorchester hotel. So the same people that do that do the Maurice as well. And Le Maurice, I'll go on the record to say, my favorite hotel in Paris.
Yeah, me too.
By far. Love it.
Although I haven't seen this one.
Well, fair enough.
So we'll get back to you.
A lot of getting back to in this episode.
Yeah, that's how it will be.
So
And-
afternoon tea, okay. Do they do a famous afternoon tea? Because like, the Ritz is known for
Yeah,
its
it's
afternoon.
supposed to be like the chicest in Paris.
Really?
Yeah, well, I mean,
Uh-huh.
according to...
Is this you going to bring your mum to
Someone.
it or something? Or?
I brought my mom to the Ritz last year,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe it's a yearly thing. Maybe if she comes...
I mean, if
comes
she
to
can't
Paris.
make it, I probably would come to that.
All right. You're in. And last but not least, well,
But that's
probably
1, 2,
least,
3, 4. Yeah, okay.
it's I've seen all over Instagram, TikTok, socials, whatever, a butter. This sounds ridiculous, but I've seen a butter and people going gaga about it.
Yeah.
No, but like seriously, at what's that one called? The Grande Épicerie.
At the Bon Marché?
Yeah, in the 6th or 7th.
We'll get back to you.
There's a butter, and everyone is like bringing it home as the best souvenir. They vacuum pack it for you, so I don't know. It costs a lot.
I know.
Everyone talks about it, and I said, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I just want to try it.
You know,
It's a butter.
I've
Why
been
do people
called-
talk about it?
I've been called cynical in the past.
Yes, by me.
First, who cares if they vacuum pack your butter?
It will last in the suitcase.
Where are you going?
To I don't know.
Is this for
America.
people who are for people who are flying back home who want to take some French butter? And the butter is
It's supposed to be the best.
But what kind of butter do they sell? If it's so good, is it expensive?
I don't know.
Because otherwise,
I need to buy it. I'll get back to you.
Wouldn't they sell it everywhere else in Paris?
No, it's special.
Okay.
It must be expensive.
Okay. Is it like one
Well,
of
I'm
those?
gonna buy it.
You know, there are some influencer things. Fair warning to everybody out there on TikTok and Instagram that people just see another influencer do it.
Yeah,
And it
they're
just
like,
goes
I'll
on
do
and
that
on.
too.
And
And
then
here we
you-
go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. It's on my
well,
bucket
why
list.
I'm
That's
s-
ridiculous.
That's why but that's
But
the
I
whole
need.
point of the
I'm,
bucket list. We're going to try
I'm
things.
investigating here.
Well, it's like me with Paul
Investigative
Bell.
shit.
I have no idea.
Exactly.
These aren't our recommendations, folks. These are just
Ah,
us saying what
you
we want to
tick
try.
it off.
Okay.
I also have a little bonus, if I may.
Well, yeah.
I may.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one is a little bit
On
more.
one condition.
Oh,
It means you have 6 things on your bucket list.
No.
If we're racing.
No, this is like a bonus.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
So this one is a bit more ambitious, and it's a day trip or even a weekend trip. This is a little bit outside of Paris. It's sort of close to Versailles, and it's an old abbey that they redone into a hotel, and it looks amazing. And the whole like restaurant where you sit and eat breakfast, for example, is where, you know, in the big abbey where is it nuns?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they
Or monks,
would
I
have
don't know.
eaten their meals, and it looks incredible.
Hang on, where is it exactly? What's it called?
It's called the Abbey de Vaux de Cernay.
Abbé des Vaux de Cernay.
Exactly, and it's
Okay.
close to Versailles. So that's my bonus.
It kind of rings a bell. You know what?
I think
I'm gonna
it's
have
new.
A,
It's
I'm going
newly
to add a bonus
renovated.
too because you just reminded me of something. I saw there's an. I could almost add 2 bonuses. There's an abbey
7.
on the side of the river where Shakespeare and Company is. So the left
Yeah.
bank, you might call it. But if you were to follow the river east again, if you were to walk towards the other side of the way, there is. I wonder if I can describe it in a way that people will know. I know. Near Tour d'Argent restaurant, a bit before, and near Messy Nessie's Cabinet of Curiosities, there's a weird-looking abbey there as well, right on the riverside, and I think there's a cafe inside it. Have you seen this?
Maybe.
I'll if I can find it, I'll put it in the show notes.
And
But
you'll
that's also
get
on
back
my
to us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I were to be really ambitious, what about that rock climbing in the church?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, in the 9th.
Yeah. How about we give that one to my dad?
Good idea. You know what else?
Palm it off.
I have another cool idea here.
He can do like a column about it.
That's what I was going to bring up. Firstly, I want to talk about your column. And then I just thought, because for people at home, 2025 is I'm really going to push membership, Patreon membership. I'm going to ensure it's the coolest club in Paris, Patreon and Substack, and all the perks that come with it. And I think one fun thing will be doing this exact kind of thing. Me or you or your dad or someone who's working with us, they go and check these things out and they do a really legit, here's some pictures, here's some this and that. And instead of spoiling secrets too much or whatever, is we give it to the members.
I love it.
And like do it really well and properly. And then when we talked about this idea, you put your hand up. You said the baby's not a baby
Pick me,
anymore.
pick me.
Let me do some.
Yeah.
What's this idea?
Well, I just feel like I have so much to give. No, but really, I can't wait to explore Paris a little bit more and, just share what I find.
In a different way, perhaps, to what I share.
Yeah,
Because
maybe we have different interests,
as you
different
always
point
say,
of views.
as you always say, you have the culture, and
you
I have the rock climb. But
always
also
say that.
to take people behind the scenes a little bit. There's this sort of tricky thing with having a channel about Paris. Is I want to do everything for free for everybody, but I also want to do stuff for members, and the balance is kind of impossible.
Yeah, they don't really add up.
Yeah, so in 2025, I'm going to be making sure the membership is the most valuable and worthwhile membership you can get in Paris. But back to the bucket list. I'm going to be sharing these all over. If, like in previous years, there's a lot of attention on it and people are sending in lots of questions and more of their own bucket list, we might do a follow-up episode with some other people. Otherwise, we're going to compete head-to-head to try and to get these things done.
For the crown.
And if you're thinking to visit Paris, it really does help to write these little obscure bucket lists of things that you want to tick off, because you often will find yourself in parts of town that you didn't expect, seeing things nearby or experiencing things that you didn't really think. And we love doing it. So.
Yeah. So what's on your bucket list?
You know what? Someone messaged me once about this to say that them and their friends, I think, they lived in Portland. And after hearing the episode, they made their own bucket list for Portland.
I love it.
Yeah. Not that we invented bucket lists, but the idea of...
Obviously not, but it's just great.
Yeah.
It's easy to forget.
So best of luck to you.
And you too.
Thank you. For everybody else, you're going to hear from My Private Paris. They're sponsoring this whole season of the show. And if you want to see Paris with experts, or indeed outside of Paris, day trips, they should be your first port of call. myprivateparis.com, linked in the show notes below. Say hello from me. We're going to turn the microphone over to my chat with them, talking about a fantastic library to see in Paris. Here we go. Marie Segura. Now, you love libraries, Marie.
Yeah, actually, I passed so many hours there, so yeah.
Is that because you love books, or you just...
I always love books. Like, Beauty and the Beast.
Sure.
I wanted to be the Beast.
You want to be the Beast?
Yeah,
I
to have
thought
the
you
library.
you wanted to be Belle. Doesn't she borrow the books?
I could be Belle, but having like the library like that... But if it's marrying someone who had a library, no, I prefer to have the library.
Okay, I love it. We're learning so much. You said that there's a library specifically that's easy to get into.
Yes.
And I think when we're talking about Paris libraries, I think a lot of people are put off by the idea of signing up, getting a card that sometimes takes ages, like 24 hours to get. Like, you can't just walk into them.
Yeah. Or sometimes you need to also have your ID, which is not always the case. So.
Sure.
But this one is very easy. I mean, they just check the bags and that's it, and you're in. So it's a BNF, and it's called a BNF Richelieu. It's not very far from Palais Royal, so like 5 minutes from the Louvre. So it's really easy to get there. And there's this beautiful oval room. That's how they call the Salon Oval. And you have 20,000 books there, and comics also to read, and so many things. And you can just go there and take a book, or just yours, and sitting there for all day. No one will tell you nothing. It just, Have you been there? Or maybe you've been there.
I have been there.
Yeah.
I went there right after they reopened, and I thought it was just so beautiful. Weirdly though, you say it's easy to get into, and it is, but it looks the hardest to get into, because you got to go through like a metal detector, and then there's
you're a little bit impressed, and also you don't know, like in the street, you don't know if it's exclusive, if it's university, but no, it's really just open. And it used to be the Library of the King for a while. It was under Mazarin and under Louis XIV, and it was the Library of the King. And then they changed the books. They're not.
That king had a library big enough for 20,000 books.
Oh, at the time, I'm not sure they had that many.
He probably had some.
Thousands for sure, but I don't know how many. But,
right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in terms of can you borrow books from in there, or is you just go in and look at them?
Yeah, and for that, I think you will have to register though.
Right.
I mean, it's open and you can spend the day there, but if you want to actually get a book out and have it for yourself, then you will have to have a little card.
And do you know why? Like, they've got this heavy. You mentioned the bande dessinée, the comic books.
Oui.
There's like a heavy, leaning towards those in there. What's all that about?
Yeah, they have I think about 6,000 reference of comics, and yeah, it's crazy. It's just like the other library in Paris, they are kind of snobbish, you know, they are against la bande dessinée, and so this one is like exactly the opposite. They say no, that's modernity. We have to accept it. So let's bring in, you know, all the new reference. Yes, that's perfect.
But it's weird because the library itself seems so old and historical.
Yeah, that's a good combination. You know, it's
Isn't
like the
that just
modernity
Paris,
of
though, isn't it?
thinking
Yeah.
and the old walls. Yes.
And then I think it's only fair that we point out upstairs there's a really nice museum as well.
Yes.
Which I totally missed the first time I visited that library. And then the famous Gallery Vivienne across the road.
Completely.
Do you tie them in on a tour and go to both at once, or?
Yeah, sometimes, you know, we start in Palais Royal, go through Galerie La Vivienne, and bam, you know, there's this beautiful library. So why not just going in and have a look, and then, you know, to just continue towards the La Bourse and Galerie Panorama.
It's a real hotspot of sort of like not top 10 things to see in Paris, but maybe top 10 to 20, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like it's sort of underrated gems all over the place.
Completely. I mean, to me, it's really like all those hidden gems in the second district. Like the second district is not even a district that people really, you know about. So I love it. I just love it for that.
It's one of my favorites, actually. I used to live there, just off Greneta.
Okay.
No, on Greneta, just off Montague. Do you know Rue Greneta?
Yeah, of course.
Such a nice part of the world and part of Paris. And for people at home, if you're looking to do a tour that includes that library or indeed anything in Paris or beyond, I'm partnering up with My Private Paris. Ask for Marie, ask for Bertrand, or ask for one of their lovely guides and see Paris with their help. Thanks for being on the show.